What's up, people? Welcome back. I have a Chiappa Rhino for you video today that is so long overdue, it's unreal. I've owned this gun for a long time. I've wanted to show it to you over and over again. It actually doesn't technically belong to me. It's Mrs. Turkey's gun. She likes it a lot, and she's actually wanted me to do a video on it because she wants to see it on camera, I think. It looks good, so I can understand. It's a very unique, interesting firearm. It's from Chiappa. They're an Italian company. It shoots from the lower portion of the barrel here, so you see these cutouts. It's almost like a vent rib shotgun type of a look to it, and it has a squared off cylinder to it, so it automatically just looks weird. It has a very short grip to it. That makes it look weird. Has a weird hammer system. That makes it look weird. So you can see why they call it the Rhino. It has like a snout to it. But all this put together, even though it looks totally strange, it's a very nice shooting firearm. What they've made is a low recoil firearm. This is chambered in 357 Magnum, and we all know that 357 Magnum is no joke. 38 Special is a lot of times shoot out of 357 Magnum. And so the comparison is shooting 357 Magnum out of this firearm is like shooting 38 out of most other revolvers. And shooting 38 out of this revolver is like shooting 22 Magnum or something like that. There's really not much. You'll still get the bang, the boom, the smoke, sometimes, a lot of times actually, the fire. You'll still get the good velocity. Not always the velocity you would expect out of a 3-inch. We do lose a little bit, and we'll talk about that. But you get good performance and controllability out of a pretty monster cartridge or a light cartridge. So either you want to tame down something that's a monster, or you just want to really be able to shoot darn good with 38. This might be your gun. So I'm going to do a little mini review for you today. I don't get too extensive into firearms. I just show you what I think about it. I don't talk about all the serious specs. You guys can look all those up, and there's 100 videos on that. We're going to do some shooting today, put a few different ammos through it. I'll show you its point of aim, point of impact with these sights that it comes installed with, and I'll just give you my general thoughts. It's a very fun gun to shoot at the range. I carry it sometimes, and yeah, it's just good. Like I said, it's Mrs. Turkey's favorite, one of her favorites, but it's definitely a great home defense option, self-defense option, car gun, heck, truck gun, tackle box gun, whatever you want. It's a good one. We'll talk about it. All right, I guess we'll do the typical tip to butt type of thing. So remember, the barrel is down here. The whole time you're looking at this gun, remember, it shoots from the bottom cylinder. The barrel's down there, so just keep that in mind. It does look very strange, like the Rhino right here with this big snout. That snout is a red fiber optic front sight, and so far it's been very good. It hasn't dulled up. It's very nice to shoot through because it matches up with these green fiber optic sights. I'll go ahead and pull that hammer back. Well, I forgot about that. So I'll hold that hammer back so hopefully you can see that. And that's one of the things you're going to see about this gun right off the bat. Sorry about my dirty fingers, but they are what they are. So the hammer does not actually stay back because it's not a hammer that actually falls into anything. So this little loaded indicator pops up. It's like a little red rocket. It looks kind of funny, but that lets you know that you have hammered back because there's no resistance and it sets forward. Now the gun is unloaded. It's not going to let me open it, but it is unloaded. Now, when you go ahead and pull that hammer, the red rocket's going to go ahead and down. It's going to have resistance again. Now, you can do a double action pull with it. You'll see that that goes ahead and goes up, but the hammer doesn't move when that happens. Another weird part is this release. This is a push down release. We're used to things on the Anaconda, maybe the Colts where we pull back, or the Rugers and the Smith & Wessons where we push forward. However, with this one, we want to push down, and that allows us to swing out the cylinder. It is that squared off cylinder, looks a little bit odd, but it's pretty cool in my opinion. I've shot this gun a whole lot, and it doesn't have a whole lot of drag mark on it. Now, that's a good thing with timing and manufacturing and tolerances, but also it shows that the finish is still pretty good too. Going over here to the ejection star, it does look a little bit different than some. It has all these posts sticking out of it. It works very well. I haven't had anything hang up in there so far. It pops everything out very freely. I'm not sure how loose or wide the chambers are, but it has run all ammunitions so far. Now, it's unloaded, so it's up here towards the camera. You guys are safe, but just looks like almost any other revolver from this end. I do have it very oiled up to try to keep some of the carbon off of it. We can see here some more of the internal working. It's more squared off than any other revolvers. Most revolvers have a lot of rounded edges on it. This thing has a lot of squared off edges. It has this weird little dip. I don't know if you can see it. It would look like the most weird, severe flame cutting you could ever imagine in your life, but it's actually a recess that's cut down in there. Not sure for the exact reason, but it's there. Looking down the barrel right there, it has a moderate, shaped forcing cone, nothing too severe, and it hasn't eroded in there as far as me shooting hot ammunition in there or anything like that. I do get it dirty, I have to clean it, but this thing has shot a plethora of different ammunition and handles it all just fine. Our sights are a little bit adjustable. I forgot to tell you that. We can adjust for windage and elevation on the rear. What else can I show you about this? On this side, it just goes ahead and gives you the designation 30DS. It has a lot of writing, but we'll take it, whatever. So it would be the 20DS 30. I think they do a 40, a 50, and a 60. They have all sorts of different finishes. This is just the basic black. It has these rubberized black grips that kind of have a wood pattern on them. They're held in by a screw down there at the bottom. They're kind of weird. They actually flex back here. You can see into the back of the gun, into the mechanism. Again, sorry my fingers are so gnarly all the time, but you can totally see into the mechanism of the gun. They do allow you to get a very nice grip, even though this is a short gun or a short grip to deal with. It leaves you nothing on the bottom to hang out. Your pinky almost falls off, but at least for me, not totally. I would like to have bigger grips on these guns. I would like to have something with finger grooves, but so far it's been okay. Now I do carry this gun, surprisingly. The way I carry it is outside waistband 3 o'clock, which is pretty much like I carry everything. So I'll show you the trigger real quick. The double action trigger is just like any other revolver. You feel the cylinder turning and then eventually it sets and just clicks. There's the set right before the click. You can almost not stop it. Once you get there, it's actually very smooth in double action. Now in single action, once you go ahead and pull that back, it turns, the little red rocket comes up. You don't have much of a trigger. It's a very nice single action. It's like any other very nicely well-built revolver. You will break nice and cleanly. So I want to show you guys this low bore axis and what it does for this gun. I have some 357 Magnum and some 38 Special reloads, 158 grain for both of these, just loaded to different nastiness, I guess you'd call it. And we're going to see how that helps hold that gun down. I think you guys are going to be pretty impressed. All right, just for reference, it's 3.5 grains of tight group sitting underneath a 158 grain full metal jacket flat point extreme bullet. I'm going to shoot from single action so that it's nice and easy to see without any obstruction on my trigger, but you're going to see the recoil is very nice. I'll go ahead and do it in double action. So that's 38 Special. All right, same projectile, but now we're in a 357 Magnum case, and we're loaded with 15 grains of H110. So you probably hear it a little bit different. It's hitting the plate different too. You can feel it in the hand. It definitely comes through, but it's nowhere near the same amount of recoil. So, sorry, I broke my thought there for a second. Recoil of a normal revolver. So I'll shoot it again. So with those 357 rounds, you don't get the flip that you would expect. You get kind of a rise. All right, we're going to try some Hornady Custom 357 Mag 158 grain XTP. I just want to show you what it looks like in the hand. Maybe if we get a little fireball out of there and show you what it is on the Garmin. It does seem to lose a little bit of velocity, like I said, compared to some other 3-inch revolvers. It could have something to do with its particular cylinder gap. I'm not sure. It's not a whole lot of velocity loss, but it's a little bit. I'll go ahead and go to single action here. I'll try to get the center of that plate. Definitely some mean stuff. And we hit in the dead center of the plate, 1132.6. Got it again in the center, 1122. So we got some significant power coming out of this little gun. Trying to take good shots for you there. That's why it took me a minute. 1035. Let's take a look. We are 40 feet off that plate, and that is darn good for defense. I'll take that every day. All right, next up will be a Hornady critical defense round. It's a nice soft shooting round. This is what Mrs. Turkey actually really likes to shoot. So let's see if we change point of aim, point of impact. I think we still kept it in there in the blue. We have 861.9, so not as much power, but still totally capable. Still in the blue, I think, 833.3. Still in the blue, 805 exactly, and very easy to shoot. But I'm telling you, it's good enough to put the stop into someone that's coming after you. 38 special, I'm not going to say it's very super powerful, but it's powerful enough. If you're comfortable with 380, then 38 is just fine. Let's take a look. All right, there we go. So the 38 still has enough to actually move the plate a little bit. I did clip it a little bit there, and we got a little bit higher. So maybe we changed point of aim, point of impact, or maybe that was just me not shooting it as well. But still, pretty darn good and totally fine for defense. You're not going to find a shot much longer than that in your home for sure. And out in public, I don't know if you're going to be shooting too much farther than that. You always could, but most of your encounters are going to be within that distance. Super soft shooting and very accurate. So there you go, Chiappa Rhino 30DS, very cool, space age looking pistol, super shootable, very accurate. Just about anybody can shoot this thing and accurately. So I do carry it, like I said, every now and then. It's not a big part of the rotation. It's an interesting part to carry every now and then in a cool little outside waistband holster. Definitely a conversation piece. Now, what I will say about this firearm is it's definitely a good range gun. It's just good to get out there and shoot some 357 Magnum. That's just an awesome cartridge. It kind of gets forgot about. It's a little bit expensive. It's really nice to be able to reload it, but that and 38 Special, just great cartridges. Get out there and shoot them. And then you can bring along other people, the wife, the kids, whoever. Everybody can enjoy that cartridge out of this gun. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words just a little bit. I'm so happy about this thing. But I try to keep this one nice, try to keep it clean. Like I said, it's the wife's gun, so I definitely don't want to beat it up. But you can run these things pretty hard. I know people that have shot them pretty extensively. They come in all different sizes, different colors. You can get them actually gold-plated with wooden grips. You can get them in the Nebula. The Nebula is like all sorts of weird colors. It's actually pretty cool. It got pretty pricey there for a while. It was like a collector's item, the 6-inch version. But like I said, different grips. And there's probably a few other things you can do for them. They do make holsters. I made my own holster, so I don't know who makes them, but people do. It would be a very good, powerful gun for even carrying in the woods, something like that. If you get one of the longer barrel versions and you're going to shoot some kind of hard cast, buffalo bore stuff, it can definitely handle all that. And then, again, your follow-up shots and stuff would be great. So for a woods type of gun, bear defense, I think it's even capable of that. Let me know what you think of this gun, if you have any experience with it, if you've wanted it, if you've ever shot it. I think it's very cool, but you might have a different opinion. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you at the next one. And until then, stay safe, have fun, and keep on shooting. Interesting guns for sure.